I joined the neurocoaching program. I'm in cohort 6, and it has been life-changing. I mean, not only has it helped me personally in my own personal life with my family, my husband, my friends, but it's also helped me start my coaching business where I help women with burnout. And that accelerated things even more, where I got 8 clients in 6 months and have just been crushing goals since then towards the 7 figures. And that is what I am grateful for, to be surrounded by women who are like-minded, who are on the path with me, and who are walking the path alongside me to grow together and really just be in a community that supports you and that helps you grow and push past your boundaries.
Well, my name is Tammy, and I found Dr. Shannon through her podcast. I think I listened to 2 podcasts before I was like, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. I was a therapist, as a marriage family therapist, and I knew that coaching, I wanted that real transformation for my clients. I wanted a process. I wanted something that's proven. I've always had a fascination with the brain. And so all of a sudden you have the brain and you have coaching and you have a proven process. And so this one package, and instantly I knew that that's what was going to elevate my coaching business. And that's the why, the science behind it. And then having a step-by-step process for my clients and for myself, that I knew that I could bring the transformation. I knew that with neurocoaching, there's as much success as they want is right there waiting for them.
Well, I started my neurocoaching journey about 30 years ago, and I was immediately hooked when I heard about the fact that, you are the creator of your thoughts and you can create your reality. And in the time that I met Dr. Shannon, I had experienced burnout. And so I was definitely on this road to recovery of understanding more like, why did I burn out? Why was I so hard on myself? And how could I overcome this burnout? How could I gain back my confidence, my motivation, and just be and feel me again, or who I thought I was based on that identity and that association to the high performer, the high achiever. What I was able to learn and discover was just how I could really impact other women like myself, high achievers, hard workers, really wanted to experience success, but also experience success and life. I don't want to be working all the time anymore. I wanted to create impact and I wanted to achieve things, but I didn't want that to be my whole entire life. Being able to put the cell phone down, be able to actually switch off and be able to be present, laugh, have fun, and be able to create success and also have a beautiful, thriving life at the same time.
Oh, neurocoaching, hands down, has been the best thing business-wise and personally I've ever done. I knew when I first saw Dr. Shannon and she started talking about the brain and how it's wired and how the way we think is what holds us back, I was hooked. And she said there was a certification program in it, and I've always wanted to be a coach. It was just something that I felt would help people and would help me in my business, even with clients. And so I signed up and became a certified neuro coach. And that graduation and getting that certificate was better than graduating high school, college, you name it. It was just, I really felt like I was doing something that wasn't just helping me, but it's going to help a whole lot of other people too. I would highly, highly recommend, if you're serious about your life, then it's something that you really need to do.
I joined the neurocoaching program. I'm in cohort 6, and it has been life-changing. I mean, not only has it helped me personally in my own personal life with my family, my husband, my friends, but it's also helped me start my coaching business where I help women with burnout. And that accelerated things even more, where I got 8 clients in 6 months and have just been crushing goals since then towards the seven figures. And that is what I am grateful for, to be surrounded by women who are like-minded, who are on the path with me, and who are walking the path alongside me to grow together and really just be in a community that supports you and that helps you grow and push past your boundaries.
Well, my name is Tammy, and I found Dr. Shannon through her podcast. I think I listened to two podcasts before I was like, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. I was a therapist, as a marriage family therapist, and I knew that coaching, I wanted that real transformation for my clients. I wanted a process. I wanted something that's proven. I've always had a fascination with the brain. And so all of a sudden, you have the brain, and you have coaching, and you have a proven process. And so this one package, and instantly I knew that that's what was going to elevate my coaching business. And that's the why, the science behind it, and then having a step-by-step process for my clients and for myself, that I knew that I could bring the transformation. I knew that with neurocoaching, there's as much success as they want is right there waiting for them.
Well, I started my neurocoaching journey about 3 years ago, and I was immediately hooked when I heard about the fact that, you are the creator of your thoughts and you can create your reality. And in the time that I met Dr. Shannon, I had experienced burnout. And so I was definitely on this road to recovery of understanding more like, why did I burn out? Why was I so hard on myself? And how could I overcome this burnout? How could I gain back my confidence, my motivation, and just be and feel me again, or who I thought I was based on that identity and that association to the high performer, the high achiever. What I was able to learn and discover was just how I could really impact other women like myself, high achievers, hard workers, really wanted to experience success, but also experience success and life. I don't want to be working all the time anymore. I wanted to create impact and I wanted to achieve things, but I didn't want that to be my whole entire life. Being able to put the cell phone down, be able to actually switch off and be able to be present, laugh, have fun, and be able to create success and also have a beautiful, thriving life at the same time.
Oh, neurocoaching, hands down, has been the best thing business-wise and personally I've ever done. I knew when I first saw Dr. Shannon and she started talking about the brain and how it's wired and how the way we think is what holds us back, I was hooked. And she said there was a certification program in it, and I've always wanted to be a coach. It was just something that I felt would help people and would help me in my business, even with clients. And so I signed up and became a certified neuro coach. And that graduation and getting that certificate was better than graduating high school, college, you name it. It was just, I really felt like I was doing something that wasn't just helping me, but it's going to help a whole lot of other people too. I would highly, highly recommend, if you're serious about your life, then it's something that you really need to do.
All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are on day 3. I'm going to hide that live coaching training starting soon because we've just started. Good to see you in the room. I'd love to start out day 3 all around you and what impact these 2 days of training has had for you. So in the chat, I would love to know, first of all, if this is your first day, say it's my first day. If it's not your first day and you've gone through day 1 where we hit niche and bucket and results, and day 2 where we hit how the 7 steps for client attraction, your OPA, your top 100. And I'd love to know what has happened for you so far. Actually, I was in our Unleashed Entrepreneur Facebook group, and one of our people started actually applying everything that I've been taught. Remember, that business owner mentality is that we invest, we actually decide very quickly, and we act. And so I saw this in one of the students from this last week, and she actually has 5 new interested clients because she started actually putting to practice what we've been talking about together. So I've loved having you here over the last week. And I'm going to just check in with my team. If you could tell me, Tori, that we could hear everything, everything's ready to go, but I can't get started until you say you're ready to rock. So put ready to rock in the chat and we will get this party started because we've got 45 minutes with each other today. Now, VIP, we're back together tomorrow for our last session. I'm very excited about that. So let me just dive into what have we done so far together. Before I do that, I want to say at the top, today is what? Wednesday. VIP, I'm back with you tomorrow. And then you've got the weekend to watch the replay. So you're going to want to bookmark this link. Let me pop it to the top here. It is growmycoachingbiz with a Z.com. Growmycoachingbiz.com. That is the replay page. That's your Netflix for growing your coaching business. It will be available through the weekend. After the weekend, that replay page goes away. So you're going to want to get in there, and if you haven't watched training 1, training 2, make sure you spend time with that. If you've watched and been here live the whole time and you're ready to just really take action, one thing I know about 7-figure business owners is we tend to really get the most out of the information that we learn. So I'm going to encourage you, if you've been here every day, a lot of you have been applying for the certification. The link to do that is at beacertifiedcoach.com. And I know you're booking your calls, and my team is getting on and helping you get that yes behind being certified, being the authority in the marketplace, and really growing your coaching business, being that business owner that really does decide and take action. So we've done a lot together. So binge watch over the weekend, but so far we've been talking about, and I posted in the Unleashed Entrepreneur, the state of the coaching industry. It is growing 20% quarter over quarter. And it's by far the best career ever for limitless income, limitless impact, limitless freedom. I told you a little bit about my story and what changed in my life once I started doing this thing called online coaching. Whether you're a life coach, business coach, or a health coach, you get to stop being stuck in a dead-end career forever, really helping someone else create their own dream. Can I get an amen? You can finally be done with that limited potential, that limited income potential, limited growth potential. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she is a CEO at a major corporation. And she said, you know what, Shannon, I just got my raise, and my raise was below the inflation rate. She's like, it's just killing me that I have all this business knowledge. I have all this. So I love this. Like, nurses make great health coaches. Therapists make great coaches, right? She's a CEO. And I told her, it's time, girl. It's time for you to take the leap and start business coaching, because you know everything, but you're just stuck creating results for someone else instead of yourself, and not living up to that full calling that God has given you, put you on the planet to do. That frustration that stayed in her for feeling like she's kind of untapped potential. I'm wondering, have you felt that like, there's just so much more. And the fear is that you just stay stuck on that hamster wheel to forever. And that is why I call coaching the best career ever, because you go from those frustrations of not, having no potential to grow your income, dead end job, not living for yourself, but for someone else, to limitless income, limitless meaning, and limitless freedom. I'm talking like the aspiration to have a life that impacts others and those in your inner circle. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe retiring your spouse, or maybe that desire you have with your family to travel to really cool places, to have that location freedom, to be able to go where you want and still be able to make money while you're sleeping, right? Maybe it's being debt free and just being able to be free to do the things that you want to do when you want to do them. Or maybe it's building for your kids or your grandkids what wasn't possible for you. And we talked about how the fact that those people, maybe it's your children or your nieces or your nephews or the people that are coming up behind you, they're not listening, they're watching. They're watching to see, what are you doing to say anything is possible? It's hard to say anything is possible out of our mouth if we're not stepping into the God-given calling that we have. So the power of the best career ever is unlocking and unleashing that. And then day one, we dove deep into your niche and how do you determine the bucket to coach in? Yes, there's health, life, and business coaching, but I like to put this in different buckets. It's money coaching, relationship coaching, or health coaching, because those are the 3 areas of coaching that people actually pay for. And I take a stand against any broke coaches or coaching hobbyists. And I take a real stand in our coaching certification for those of you that want a coaching career, you want to create that life for yourself, and you want to be done dabbling and being just the forever student, but not the person actually making it happen. So I just want you to put in the chat, I'm a business owner. I am a 7-figure coach. If that's where you're headed, if you're not headed there, if you just want to keep dabbling, want to keep lone wolfing it and doing those things, I wish you the best. It's going to be pretty hard to do that. But a lot of you really made that declaration of being the true business owner, and you just determine the bucket that yours fall in. Tell me in the chat what your bucket is. And then you also learned how to determine your best niche, not the niches that everybody else say exist. See, that's outside in thinking and ideology that we were indoctrinated in our educational system. But now you know how to uncover your very best niche, who you are put on this planet to serve. And the best part, on day one, we really deep dove into what results you will get for your clients. Armed with those 3 things, VIP, we went deeper. We learned how to micro niche. I was able to help each and every one of you go in and micro niche your specific perfect person, perfect result. And we really talked about getting the result that your client wants. And then day 2, we unlocked for you the 7-step client attraction system with some of our tools like OPA and Top 100. And I saw that you jumped in. A lot of you have already reached out. We have one person reach out to 3 of her top 100 because she posted it in the group, and one of them has invited her on their podcast. See, when we act like business owners, 7-figure business owner results start to come our way. Can I get an amen? Acting like you don't believe, or acting as a business owner to getting to 7 figures, which one of those is going to attract the clients that you want? Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat. I'm just going to jump over here to see everybody's comments because I have been chatting and I haven't looked. Good to see you, Lillian, Heather, Erica. Good to see you, 7-figure coach, Erica. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So where are we headed now? Well, we did break down for you as well the steps to a 7-figure profitable coaching business. We showed you that it starts with a niche and attracting clients, filling the funnel, making coaching offers, delivering the results, and creating raving fans. And you figured out and you saw that all of those steps don't matter unless you can deliver the results. I get asked this question a lot. How do you grow? How are you at the multiple seven figures that you're at? And and I can tell you the strategies for niche and bucket, the strategies to attract clients. I'm going to talk about filling the funnel and making coaching offers today. But I can tell you this, if I didn't deliver 100% results, we wouldn't be creating the business that we have. We would always be starting back at zero over and over and over again. So the key to a really profitable coaching business is knowing how to coach the right way, brain-based transformation 100% of the time for your clients so that you get them the results they're paying you for, so they become raving fans. Tell everybody about you. You get the compound interest of that, which then again fills the bucket and keeps allowing you to make coaching offers that actually are easy to sell. Who just had an aha in the chat? Who just had an aha in the chat? And then tell me that. And then we had two super secret sessions is what I called it. The first one was around the steps to leaving your 9-to-5. And the last one was around 10, we actually did 12 ways to finance your coaching business. Now, those aren't on the replay, but I can tell you if you're in the Unleashed Entrepreneur Facebook group, you can still find those. So while you're binge watching, they all disappear after the weekend. So I'd really encourage you to go back and watch those as well. Now, I said there wouldn't be replay. They're not on the replay page, but they haven't been removed from Unleashed Entrepreneur yet. So I'm just telling you they're there. At some point, my team will find them and remove them, but that hasn't happened yet. Now, as I said, you learned how to think like a coaching business, not a coaching hobby. And it breaks my heart when I see people that really are meant to be 6- and 7-figure coaches that stay in this belief that they can Band-Aid, tuck tape, and free their way to a coaching business. That is not thinking like a 7-figure coach. Like, you learned also the right way to coach. We broke down the neuro coach model for you. STEBDAR, Mind Matrix, Brain Prime. Only place is in the Sync Neuro Coach certification that you get that science-backed, brain-based method to create 100% results for your clients. Now, they have to do 100% of the work to get it, but 100% results means raving fan. And you learn that key to the Lamborghini or to the Escalade or whatever it was. The Escalade, the vehicle, might be those strategies that we're talking about to operate your coaching business. But the key is the right way to coach and the right path, simple path, which we break down in the certification, to be able to have the confidence and the knowledge to become the industry expert. Okay, so today we're diving in on coaching pricing, irresistible offers, and how to move those offers into sales. And I want to show you how simple 10K months will be, how fast 10K months can happen. And what I want to do to start us off is teach the top, I'd say it's about 6 ways to be able to set up your coaching business, because you've got to know what you're going to offer to create an irresistible offer. Can I say, put what do I offer in the chat? Put what do I offer? Now I'm going to start off, and I really encourage this first one is one-on-one coaching. Now I'm going to talk to you after this training about high ticket versus low ticket and why you should choose low ticket and why you should choose high ticket to help you kind of make that decision on pricing and product. But really, if you're just getting started, I always do encourage one-on-one. And when we talk in the sales, I'm going to be breaking down why that is. It's just super, super powerful. I want you to understand something. When we think about one-on-one, maybe the thought came to your mind is, I'm still trading time for dollars. Did you say yes if you thought that in the chat? Like, I'm still trading time for dollars if I actually do one-on-ones. Tell me if that's what you thought in the chat. I'm just checking in with the team and seeing what's going on. I'm waiting for you guys to answer. You didn't think that. Okay, good. Good, good, good. So here's the thing. My coach, my personal coach, charges $100,000 a year. My personal coach charges $100,000 a year. Now, she didn't start there, but I can tell you she is not running webinars and doing those kind of things. She did exactly what I taught you on day 2. She started with one client, doubled her prices. Started with her second client, doubled her prices. Word got out about the results because she knows our model. And she was a very high profile coach for a while, and she had notoriety, but she really didn't have that clientele base where she was charging what she's charging now. And as she grew, she got it to the place where she could charge clients like me $100,000 a year to coach with her. Tell me in the chat, like, okay, so maybe it's 3 to 5 coaches or clients that she has. Maybe even if she has 10, that's $1 million business. 10 calls a month, $1 million business. Can I get a that's me if you would love to have that kind of high ticket income because the word has gotten out about you that you are the results getter, right? And that comes back down to having the right coaching model, making you that go-to person, the person of authority. I can tell you, I have a client of mine, he's a one-on-one client of mine, and he charges $350,000 a year. And he asks for you to put 20% of that up front to work with him 2 calls a month. So hopefully I'm starting to break down this idea of I have to create, time for dollars. Sometimes some people are really meant to stay in that one-on-one box. And they love it. My coach loves what she does. She would never want to do what I do. She loves having a handful of clients that she goes super deep with year after year after year and helps them grow. Or 350,000. At that point, you have 3 clients and you're sitting on the beach coaching them. Can I get an amen? Who wants to be sitting on the beach with their 3 clients at $350,000 a year? I'm just trying to break for you what becomes possible. What becomes possible when you stop thinking with the limitations of I can't see it. Remember, a business owner sees with the lens that requires they stretch. And they know in order to get to that place, they're going to have to have the expertise. And that's the key, is getting certified and having that expertise. All right. So number 1 is that if you're just getting started, that would be the plan I would advise you to start with for 3 reasons. Number 1, it grows fast. Number 2, you go deep. And so you really get good at your craft. And number 3, there's nothing else you're going to need for your messaging going forward, because the clients themselves are telling you what their pain is, what their desires are, what their desired future state becomes possible. And that is literally what you're repeating when you're offering it to other people. That's why I encourage you to not go fancy and go buy all this extra courses. When you're in the certification, really learn how to do it simply. So write simple. The idea of just having one-on-one clients, charging them what you're worth. Remember, start with 1, double the price. And then you get to the point. I shared the story yesterday on VIP, Barbara's story, where she was charging 1,000, then 3,000, and then 5,000. And then I encouraged her to double her prices. And she really dug her heels in. She's like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. 7,500 maybe, but 10, and so she took about 2 weeks doing the brain primes, what we teach you and what we teach you to teach your clients. And she finally decided. And it was funny because as she was doing that, once she decided and she brain primed it, all of a sudden one person started calling her. Like, she didn't even have to go find them. They were literally like, hey, I need a coach. And she, so she finally gets on the phone with him, and she's talking to them about what it is they want and what's getting in the way, and the process that we teach you to do with calls to enrollment. And she said, when they said, okay, I need to coach with you, what is the investment? Out of her mouth fell $10,000. I love it when I'm in people's heads. And she said, great, where do I sign up? So at that point, Barbara was like, oh my gosh, it's possible. And then within 4 weeks, she closed not 2, not 4, but 10 more clients. She created a 6-figure business in 4 weeks. That's the power of being in the certification, having the right model, and having the right path. That's why you've got to get it, beacertifiedcoach.com. Get your application in there, because you don't want to do it the slow way. So that's one-on-ones. Now, the second coaching business that you can run is a group coaching program. Our 67-day year program is a coaching program that gets you a year's worth of goals in 67 days, or our NeuroCoach certification program are both group coaching programs. The NeuroCoaching certification is very different because it's curriculum. And so I would say that's more of a hybrid, but 67-day year is a group coaching program. Here's what I'll tell you. If you've already been coaching and you have 1, 2, 3 clients, and you've been doing it for at least 6 months to a year, it might just be time for you to be considering adding a group coaching program. Yes, you just heard me, 6 months to a year. I want you to choose one lane, and I want you to go all in, whether it's one-on-one, group, or a hybrid, which I'm going to talk about next. But I want you to go all in, because each of these really are the next step for your coaching business. So you start out one-on-one, maybe move to group when you have 4 or 5 clients, because then they get they get your coaching. Just like in VIP, we had one-on-one coaching, but the group elevated each other. And that's really, really powerful. So right now in the chat, I want you to tell me what sounds like the most aligned offer for you, one-on-one coaching or group? Tell me in the chat while I take a drink. Group coaching. Okay, tell me a little bit, because I don't know your name, because StreamYard's not letting me see it. So you say both. I've been doing one-on-one, but I want to switch to group. Have you been doing one-on-one for at least 6 months? Heather said one-on-one. Lillian said group. Lillian, you've been on fire this week. I've been watching you. How many people since you decided, and congratulations for getting your application call scheduled. I saw that. How many people are in your group right now since you decided and started taking the action? I'm so excited for you. Heather had a moment where I could charge 10K, double my original idea. Absolutely. Absolutely. One-on-one for about a year and a half. Do you feel like that one-on-one is solid? Like you know you're bringing in clients, and if so, I would say maybe that is a perfect thing to do. Look at Lillian. Look at what happens when you act like a business owner, when you have the right process and you step into the right steps. She has 40 people, 10 new since Monday. Let's just celebrate that for a second. Our community, by the way, really celebrates each other's wins. So that's one-on-one and group. Now, as your business grows and you get closer to 6-figure, you might think about doing what we call a hybrid. My friend James Wedmore has one of these, where it's a course plus group, right? So he has his business by design, plus he does a limited amount of coaching around his course. So that's a hybrid. Or potentially you would move to a speaking model where you speak on stages and you do in-person coaching like that. That's super high ticket. My friend Christy Wright, Business Boutique, and now she's actually teaching speaking now. She was on my podcast not too long ago. That is her model where she'll go and she'll speak and she'll do in-room type of coaching where it's in an intensive type of things. And that leads me to the next one. And these are just potentials down the road, but I want you to see possibility. I want you to see what's able to be there. So retreats, intensive. My friend Pat Flynn did this for a few years where he had a program that taught people podcasts or taught people YouTube. But then he would say, really what's getting in the way is their thinking. And of course, he's been trained in the model. So he's like, let me do retreats and intensive, charge a lot more, have it be done for you in the moment in terms of the strategy, but then get them past the things that are getting in the way. So retreats and intensive. And another option is coaching for others. Not sure if you know that is an option. I always encourage our certification clients. There's in Proverbs, there's a book 31 that talks about, you've probably heard of the Proverbs 31 woman. Basically, if I boiled that down, is she doesn't have just one career. She takes care of her family. She takes care of her husband. She has her career, but she's always creating multiple streams of income. And I really encourage you as a coach, have your one thing be your main thing, and then affiliate for others. So a lot of our certified neuro coaches recommend people to get certified, and they make $1,000 on that every time they do that. That's a pretty awesome thing to not have to deliver anything yourself. That's pretty cool, right? So that's a stream of income for our coaches, or coaching in other people's communities. Do you know that I actually coach in a couple communities and they pay me to do that? And it's a relationship that I have with them. And I love being able to support my friends in the industry that do not teach and coach the way that I do. So I would love to know, okay, here's my question. Now that you know kind of really the types of coaching businesses, you told me what you want to start with, one-on-one or group. What of the other coaching businesses sounds exciting once you get to 7 figures? Exciting once you get to 7 figures. Let me see. I feel super confident by one-on-one, career coach, want to do group, had a dream about it, writing a resume, I'm over it, lol. I love it. So really important that you now do that in a way that your one-on-one clients can't wait to be in the group. And we break that down inside the certification. So I would love to know, do you want to be a speaker when you get to 7 figures? Do you want to hold retreats? Do you want to coach for others? Tell me in the chat kind of what the vision is. I love kind of taking you, what do you want now? And what is it that's exciting in the future? I'll show you a picture. Hold on. So we talked about how your brain needs to believe it before you see it, right? And training your brain to believe is the key. So before I started speaking on stages, you guys are going to love this. I did this. That's me on Beth Moore's body. That's not me on a stage, although I've been able to speak on a stage like that now. But I had to see it. I don't know about you. I'll put that a little closer. That's me. That's Beth Moore's body. Kind of fits. But that isn't me. But it is the vision that I held in my mind when I was still one-on-one coaching. And so I knew, because I had to create my brain to believe it before you see it, that's what I needed to do. What about you? What about you? Thought about speaking, maybe retreats, move to a hybrid. I love it, Tiffany. I love it. I love it. All right. So I want to move now to kind of talking about pricing and your most irresistible offer, because I want you to see why some people are not able to charge very much and some people are able to charge $350,000 a year. And the key that you're going to want to write down from high ticket versus low ticket. And by the way, there is no right answer. You might want to do volume and low ticket, or you might want to do intimacy, smaller and high ticket. The more intimacy, the more money. So here's what I'd love to tell you. Like, as you're moving from low to high, it's about more intimacy. It's about more results. It's about more money. And honestly, the marketing messaging is all around related to results. The more results you get, the more you can charge. Write that down. The more of a result that you get, the more that you can charge. Here's an example. Now I'm going to give you these examples in the buckets so it will make sense for you. So load up the buckets that you're coaching in your mind. So an example of this would be, if I am in the money bucket, I'm a business coach, or I'm moving somebody toward more income, better career, better real estate, more money, right? A low ticket offer might be your first client. A high ticket offer might be getting to 6 figures or having the expertise and the knowledge to get to 6 figures. Does that make sense? First client to 6 figures or 7 figures. One result is a lot smaller than the higher level results. So start thinking about that for your specific niche. In the health bucket, the low end might be, I'll help you remove your first pound or 2 and get you started in your weight loss journey. Or I'll help you, I'm thinking about Lillian with her keto, I'll help you have your first full keto day. That might be a low ticket offer. But releasing 30 pounds or more, or developing into the full keto lifestyle might be a high ticket offer. Who's having an aha right now? Now, because you can see the scale, like first beginning stages, get them a win, but the more high ticket means the more results, getting to 6 figures, releasing the 30 pounds. In the relationship bucket, I would say maybe the first would be a low ticket, would be like get you to your first date. And then maybe the high ticket is getting the ring on the finger, right? And in relationship areas, it's a lot of times I'll see people who do relationships do a lot of quality. Like in the money side, you can quantify it. It's a number, right? In the health side, it tends to be a number. In the relationship side, you're always going to want to quantify the quality. You're going to want to quantify the quality. So what does that mean? Like first date, we can film a first date, right? So we can know when they get to that first date, or we can film when they put a ring on their finger, for example. That we're quantifying, putting a number to the quality, because what they're wanting isn't just a first date or just a ring. They're wanting a life. They're wanting a partner. You get the idea, right? So that's not really their pain and desire, is a first date and a ring, but that result means that somebody is interested in them. That result means that someone wants to spend the rest of their life with them, but we want to quantify that result, right? All right. So who in the chat, I'd love you to try, lots of ahas happening here. I'd love for you to try your hand at, do you want to be low ticket or do you want to be high ticket? Now, I love the high ticket business of coaching because I love to be intimate with people and get them to a long finish line. Now, when you're choosing high ticket, however, you're going to want to give them the path. That's why in the certification, we have you start here, you get coached, you learn coach launch formula, you're learning the model. Like we're literally saying, here's what's first, here's what's second, here's the milestones. So you get to milestones when you're in high ticket. So there's quantifiable milestones to say, oh, I'm getting somewhere. I'm feeling progress. So they stick with you and renew and renew and renew. Does that make sense? So in the chat, let's say low ticket or high ticket. By the way, I have my friend Allie Bjerk who does low ticket, tiny funnels, and she coaches around them. And she's got a multi-7-figure business with a $17 product. So it's totally possible if that is really what you're being called. And the good news is God calls us all to different things. So tell me in the chat, are you going to start low ticket or high ticket? If you're going to start one-on-one and you're going to do the path of doubling every time you get a new client, then that puts you probably more in the high ticket as you're scaling your pricing. as you're scaling your pricing. All right, I want to see what you have to say there. Is it going to be low or high? Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat. Because we want to get you really thinking about getting your offers, your irresistible offers out there. So knowing what you sell, knowing what you're going to do is so important. 70 days to eating freedom. That's medium. Yeah, that's medium. So we're going to want very specific results within that, Lillian. So maybe 3 key results. They're going to get to here, then to here, then to here, right? Moving to high ticket, says Tiffany. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So now the third piece that I want to share with you today is around the steps that create an irresistible offer. Here's the thing. There are a lot of people making offers on the internet. Do you agree? Say offers if you're seeing them constantly being in front of you, somebody offering something over and over again. Tell me in the chat if you're like, yep, see them all the time, offers all day long, Facebook ads. Well, there's a difference between making an offer, which makes them have to be convinced, versus creating an irresistible offer that they cannot resist. And so remember, in the certification, we're taking you down these paths, and the irresistible offer path are simple steps, but they all hinge on the expertise and being the expert in the room. So I just want to just frame this by saying, knowing how to coach where to get 100% results is the attractive offer, right? Remember, are they buying coaching or results? Tell me in the chat. Coaching or results? Tell me in the chat. What are they buying when they enroll with you as a coach? Coaching or results? Tell me in the chat. Results, yeah. So if they're getting results, like that's what they're paying you for, excuse me, then the irresistible offer is first you, number one, attract them to you. We talked about that on day 2. In the certification, we teach you coach launch formula that is a very step-by-step path to attract them to you. That's what Lillian's been working on. And I know this is crazy, but number 2 is you sell them what they actually want, not what they need. So we teach you how to really determine what to say about what they want versus what they need. If they don't already want it, it will not be an irresistible offer. Let me say that again. If you've attracted your perfect client and we do not sell them what the results that they want, it will no longer be an irresistible offer. For example, you want to grow a coaching business and you want to do it quickly. So that is what I am offering in the certification, because in the certification, you actually know how to coach. You become the expert. When you become the expert, you become known as the expert in your niche. Once you become known, you're attracting people to you, and then you're selling them the results, and they just line up to buy. And that's why you need to be in the certification. So you would, number 1, attract them. Number 2, sell them what they want. This is where most coaches struggle because we're so big-hearted, right? Big-hearted, if you're big-hearted, and you just want to like tell them they need mindset and tell them they need the things that they don't already think that they need. And then it becomes a thing where you're convincing them. You attract them, number 1, you sell them what they want, and then you quantify the results and the time for them. It's going to take you X amount of days to get to this specific result. And as I said in the last, the more results, the more time, the more money, right? So it's just relative to that. And then you want to stage the results for ascension. In other words, if I start at one date, the ascension might be getting engaged. And then the ascension from that might be to the wedding day. So now I have 3 ascensions that I can take people from a low ticket to a mid ticket to a high ticket. So first you attract them, and then you sell them what they want. And again, in the chat, I just want you to do it strongly. What is it that they want in your specific area? What results do they want? because that's the key to creating an irresistible offer. I'd like to make it super complicated, but when you've attracted the perfect person and you really meet them in the result that they want, and you've talked to them about their pain and you've talked to them about their desired future, and you're listening and you're using their words, the answer is where, like Barbara had, where do I sign up? Where do I sign up? What do I do? Like, where do I sign up? Make sense? You big-hearted people, here's what I want you to think about. If you're a big-hearted coach, the best thing you can do for their heart is get them the results that they want, not tell them what they need. Now, once they say yes to your coaching, of course, you're going to take them through and give them what they need. But the idea here is creating the irresistible offer. So it's 2 steps. Attract them. We talked about those steps day 2, and sell them what they want. So I want you in the chat, while I take a drink of water, in the chat, I want you to tell me what your perfect person wants. What's the result they're after that's going to make them say, if I can get that result with you, sign me up. Sign me up, baby. Right? Attract them, sell them what they want. So tell me in the chat, what is it to be comfortable in their own skin? So that what, Lillian? Once I'm comfortable in my skin, what does that make possible? So in the chat, try it out, because the more you do this, the more you're able to really start Coach Launch Formula from the beginning in the certification. And here's the thing. The key here is thinking like a 7-figure coach. And I literally, the other day, and I'm going to do it again, drew the line in the sand, because all of what we've talked about in these 3 days of training aren't going to help you if we don't draw the line in the sand and say, I actually really want a career in this. I want to get to 6 figures and then on to 7. And I know the thinking, we talked about invest, decide, and act. Those are 3 leadership qualities of a 7-figure coach. And I know online seems confusing on what to do to grow your coaching business, but it really boils down to needing to be the expert, getting those results, and that irresistible offer. But it's back to leadership. It's back to the way you think about your business. And I want to bring forward this idea of the leadership of a business owner, not lonely ship, meaning lone wolfing. So what I see is people using Band-Aid approach, free approach, regurgitating what somebody else is doing. That lone wolfing is not the leadership of a business owner. You've got to be able to be the person that says, I know I have blind spots and I got to move past them. Right? It's transformed people that transform people. And to be that expert, you've got to know how to coach. You've got to be able to be an expert at coaching if you're going to have the best career ever as a coach. Being that expert is the linchpin that makes it all work. Now, transform people, right? Coaches need coaches. And it's super important to us in the certification that we coach you to your transformation while you're learning to coach your clients to transformation. Because the coaching business is the best career ever if you think like a 7-figure coach. If you actually know that investing means you collapse time, that means you have more time to grow faster, and you don't lone wolf and Band-Aid approach to the things that matter most to you, right? To your dreams, your desire, the ability to have time with your kids while they're still under your roof, the ability to be with your grandkids, retire them, to be retiring your husband, to be able to go on trips, right? Those things don't deserve a Band-Aid and lone wolf approach. And a 7-figure business owner's leadership thinks differently. And I know you have heard that the certification is open for application. It's only for a few more days. So as we wrap up together, if you're serious about building your coaching career and creating for your family what you see behind your eyes already, then you got to get yourself in the room. You become that expert with the only coaching model that is brain-based and science-backed to 100% results. Those results with your big heart that you get to enroll people with an irresistible offer, and you get them those results, and they just cannot help but tell everybody about you. You become the industry expert, the industry leader. You become known as that go-to coach. You sell out your coaching programs, and you help impact hundreds, maybe even thousands of people's lives. And it would change your life in the process. So what becomes possible for you when you start to think like that? Now, if you haven't applied already, go to beacertifiedcoach.com and get your application in. Like I said, a few days from now, we will be closing the doors sometime next week. I'm going to pop that up here on the screen so you don't have to look for it. And the replay page will be available to you all weekend. So if you really just want to soak this in and and I want you to, if you know, like think, so it's the kind of the end of June. So July, August, September, October, November, December. Imagine it's December and you're celebrating Christmas if you do, and you're sitting there with your family and you've created the best career ever for yourself. Your family is getting to plan the trip of their dreams. You're starting to think, which is not really looking at the bank account anymore. You're helping so many people get results, and you cannot believe the life that you have. And that's just getting started. Because as you know, as you become that industry leader, you continue to sell out your coaching, go to speak on stage, go work with other people, and just really, really have the career that you knew God put you on the planet to have, the impact on people's lives that you were meant to have. So over the weekend, I'm going to really challenge you. If you've been with me live every day, go to growmycoachingbizwithaz.com for the weekend. Just bookmark that. That's the replay page. And just watch the trainings again and start to see, when you stack the right steps and the right model, how fast you can take 19, 20, 25 years and collapse it down into 6 months of learning how to coach and learning how to grow your business in the simple and right way. So you become that expert, you get known, people line up, and you make the impact that you knew you were supposed to have. So get your spot on that calendar at beacertifiedcoach.com. And if this training has been valuable to you, a 10 out of 10, let me know that in the chat. This was a brand new training. I wanted to give you everything that you would need to prepare you to get certified. Now, I told you a lot of the what you need to do, of course, the how to do it and the steps and the path and the model. It's all inside the certification waiting for you to become that expert that gives that irresistible offer and that gets on the stages or whatever it is that you see behind your eyes, but most importantly, that builds the life that you knew you were meant to be and the calling that you knew God had on your heart. So I've loved being with you. I've loved serving you over the last few days. Now, VIP, of course, we're back together for a short VIP session tomorrow. So make sure you don't miss it. It'll be about a 30-minute session tomorrow where we'll just do live Q&A. We'll answer any questions you have about the coaching certification. Here's the thing. I love telling you what works. I love showing you the steps that I went from zero to my one-on-ones, to selling group, to being on these stages. And it doesn't have to be complicated. I know online many, many, many marketers tell you it has to be. But I can tell you from my experience, if you want to help people and you want to create a 7-figure business and you don't want to have to exchange a 9-to-5 for another job, but you actually want to create a life that matters, that impacts, and that creates freedom for you, then you've got to get in the certification. So you see every step. It's like having the roadmap to exactly what you see behind your eyes, and then getting it in a 6-month container. We can walk beside you, get you scaled, get you in that dream of a lifetime. All right. Thank you so much for being here. And again, if this was the day one for you, you have the weekend to watch the replays. And I know a lot of you are Heather, I know Lillian, I know a lot of you have your application calls scheduled. I know my team's very excited to be talking to you and helping you get to that place that you want in your coaching business. Here's how I'm going to wrap this up. You were called for more. You weren't called to suffer. You were called to serve. You were called to change lives. And it's time you know that you're called to coach. I'll see you inside the certification. Bye for now.